I've seen his face before. He's hungry and I'm tired. Can't keep him out much more.
It's going really well. We're just over 6 weeks in to an 8-week US tour, coast to coast. So we're in California at the moment.
Yeah.
And we started in Texas and we went up through the Midwest and then over to the East Coast, through the South. We went, our first couple of gigs were in Alabama and Mississippi. I can barely remember them now. They seem so long ago. And all around the East Coast into Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut. Yeah, some of them are more different than others. Some of the American audiences, although not all, American audiences are a little bit more inclined to kind of hoop and holler, and they're more vocal, if you like, than a lot of UK audiences. But that doesn't necessarily hold for all UK audiences. Like especially like up in Scotland, they tend to be every bit as vocal as the Americans. They're great. Which is not to say anything against Gloucestershire audience. I've toyed with lots of different genres, although I think my style has kind of remained fairly consistent. My first album, When Two Lovers Meet, was mostly traditional Irish material and just one of my own songs on there. And then the second album, I Won't Go Home Till Morning, was more American Appalachian folk that I kind of grew up with because my mother was into that music. My father was Spanish, my mother was American, my stepfather's English, my husband's Irish. I live in England, What caused me to get more into songwriting was that in between the second album and the third album, I made an album with another singer called Zoe Pollock, she was from the pop music background, and she had a great big hit single back in 1991 called Sunshine on a Rainy Day. And she and I co-wrote all of the songs for the album that we made together under the band name Mama. And it was working with Zoe that made me really start to see myself primarily as a songwriter rather than a folk singer. It's nice to have guests on the albums. Like my fourth album, Walking Into White, was produced by my cousin Adam Pearce, and he plays drums. And I think performing solo, you get more of a connection to the audience, and I really like that. It's kind of, you don't have a band on stage to kind of play off of and interact with. So all your interaction has to be with the audience, and you get this wonderful kind of electricity almost when it's good. It's just amazing. Where I try and vary the set of it. I think the Music at Stow show, because I think I'm just doing one set there, I can't do what I've been doing on most of my concerts on this tour. I do two halves. In the first half, I've been performing the new album live, track for track, and then the second half, I've been kind of mixing it up a bit more. So for the Music at Stow concert, I won't be doing that, but I will be doing a lot of material from the new album, some of which requires a bit of technological trickery to make it work. There's one particular track called Jackdaw's Rising, which was described by one of the reviewers as being impossible for Sarah to ever perform live. So we've been having a great time achieving the impossible on this tour. I'd love to make some money. I try and do at least one thing from all of my albums, including I do one of the tracks from the Crow Coyote Buffalo, the album that I made with Zoe under the band name Mama. And then I try and get the audience participating a bit as well. I do a couple sing-along numbers to get the audience involved and get them singing harmonies and things like that, which is always good fun. I think that's another area where being a solo performer really helps, because when you ask the audience to participate, they're really part of it, because it's just you and them. It's not like they're just augmenting a band who are already joining you. When you ask them to join you, they really become part of the show. Well, they seem lovely. They seem like really nice people, and they're very good musicians, and I've heard their album, and I've never actually heard them perform live before, so I'm really looking forward to getting to hear them when they do the opening set at Music at Stow.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Michael. It's been lovely talking to you.